Welcome to Cheater Confessions. Let's get started with today's story. People always said Olivia and I looked solid. At work dinners, friends watched us laugh. At family events, they said we balanced each other. She stood close, hand on my arm, smiling like nothing could touch us. But there was one name that never left the room. Andrew. "He's just a friend, Marvin," she said one night while scrolling through her phone. "We grew up together. That's all." "Then why does he call this late?" I asked. She didn't look up. "Because he trusts me." That was the first problem. I was her husband, yet trust seemed to lean toward another man. We argued more about him than anything else. Not about money, not about the apartment, not about careers. Just Andrew. She said I was being paranoid. I said there had to be clear lines. Eventually, a deal was made. No secrets, no hidden calls, no private meetings without me knowing. Complete honesty, I said. "You have it," she promised. "I choose you, Marvin. Don't forget that." For some time, things felt normal. Dinners at home, movies on the couch, weekend grocery runs. On the surface, peace returned. But small cracks began showing. Her phone always face down on the table. Laughs came from messages she never shared. Plans with me got postponed for strange reasons. Something came up at work. A friend needs help moving. My cousin is freaking out again. Each excuse came softly. Each one had just enough truth to sound real. One evening I asked, "Are you happy?" She paused, then said, "Of course I am. Why would you even ask that?" "Just checking." Stop looking for problems where there aren't any. Maybe she believed that. Maybe she wanted to. I watched her walk into the bedroom, closing the door behind her. A few seconds later, I heard her voice, low, careful. "Yes, I can talk for a minute." The name never crossed her lips out loud. It didn't need to. Andrew was still there, not in the room, not in the house, but standing quietly between us every single day. The next day she went to work as usual. Then came a message exactly at 5:03 p.m. "Can't make it tonight. Running behind at the office. Don't wait." My reply was one word. "Sure." No questions, no pressure. I slid my phone back into my pocket and sat there, staring at the screen as it went dark. We had installed a tracking system on the car months earlier for insurance reasons. Safety. That was the explanation. One account, two phones, one vehicle. I opened the app and watched the small blue icon settle into place. Not downtown, not near her building, not moving at all. It was parked outside Andrew's complex. I didn't drive over. I didn't text her again. I let the silence do its job. Then I checked something else. Date, time, address. Exactly the same location as the week before when she had claimed she was helping a coworker prepare for a deadline. That night, I cooked for one. I sat on one side of the couch. When she finally came in, the clock read after 10. "You're still up?" she asked. "I wasn't tired," I replied. She placed her bag near the chair, slipped off her shoes, and acted normal. "How was work?" I asked. She exhaled. "Rough. Non-stop meetings." "What was the deadline?" "Client revisions. You wouldn't know them. Try me." She hesitated. A second too long. "They keep changing direction," she added, walking toward the kitchen. "It's annoying." "Sounds exhausting." It was. She started listing small details, names I didn't recognize, rooms I'd never seen. None of it mattered. The screen on my phone had already told the truth. Later that night, once her breathing leveled out beside me, I opened the tracking app again. This wasn't confusion. This wasn't stress. This was choice and repetition. I began marking dates quietly. No confrontation, no drama, just evidence stacking in a clean line. Every time she said late, I checked. Every time she said busy, I confirmed. Always Andrew's address. I wasn't angry. I wasn't loud. I just understood. And once I understood, I started planning. It happened on a Thursday. Olivia stood in the kitchen, clicking buttons on her phone, acting rushed. "I'll be late tonight," she said, sliding her bag over her shoulder. "Big problem at the office. I'm needed." "Sure," I answered, calm, eyes on the counter. She paused. Maybe she expected more. Then she smiled, light and fake, and walked out the door. The car engine faded down the street. I waited 5 minutes, then opened the tracking app. The blue dot moved in a straight line across town. It didn't slow near her building. It didn't turn toward the business district. It stopped in the same familiar spot, Andrew's Street. That was when I made the call. I didn't rush. I didn't hesitate. I picked up my phone and opened the food app we often use together. Her favorite place was still saved at the top, a high-end kitchen. The kind she said was too expensive for regular nights. I selected the full set for two: steak, pasta, dessert, a bottle of red wine that cost more than most people's weekly groceries. Then I entered the delivery address, Andrew's exact unit. Under the instructions, I typed one sentence. From Marvin. She chose this tonight. I paid using the shared card, the one that sent notifications to both our phones. Then I sat down. A few minutes passed, then my screen lit up. Charge approved. Almost immediately, another. What did you just do? I didn't answer. Her name flashed again. Ignored. Then a call. Then another. I turned the phone face down on the table and waited. I imagined the door opening, the quiet hallway, the delivery man holding a heavy bag, Olivia standing there, confused, heart racing, Andrew beside her, staring, my name printed in clean ink on the receipt. I didn't smile. I didn't feel satisfaction. I just felt done. An hour later, more messages appeared. You're sick. Stop spying on me. Answer the phone, Marvin. I didn't move. I poured a glass of water. I walked to the balcony. I looked down at the traffic below and thought about how quiet everything once you finally see the truth. That night, I slept better than I had in months. She came home close to midnight. The door opened slowly. Olivia stepped inside, eyes wide, face pale. You sent dinner to Andrew's place, she said. I didn't move from the chair. You said you couldn't make it tonight. That wasn't an invitation to stalk me. I didn't follow you. You sent yourself there. She dropped her bag on the floor. You embarrassed me. Good, I said. Now you know what exposure feels like. You don't understand the situation, she snapped. Andrew needed support, that's all. Support usually doesn't come with wine, candles, and my name on the bill. She opened her mouth to respond. No words came out. I stood, calm, balanced, in control. Sit down, she said. We need to talk this through. No, I replied. We are past talking. Her eyes filled. It was a mistake. Repeating the same lie doesn't make it new, I said. It just wastes air. She stepped closer. You think you know everything because of one dinner? I know enough because of every location ping you thought I couldn't see. That froze her. You tracked me? She whispered. No, you tracked yourself. Silence sat between us. I love you, she said, softer now. Don't throw this away over nothing. Nothing is when a person still matters, I answered. This mattered the second you left me out of the truth. She broke down on the couch. I stayed standing. Your clothes are in the spare room, I said. Everything else is where you left it. You have until tomorrow evening. You can't just kick me out. Your name isn't tied to this place. Not on paper. Not anymore. You're being heartless, she cried. No, I replied. I'm being finished. She stood slowly, staring at me as if seeing a stranger. You did this to hurt me. You did this because you thought I wouldn't notice. There was nothing left to say. She walked down the hallway without another word. The guest room door closed. Morning arrived with tension in the air. Olivia moved around the guest room in silence, pulling clothes from drawers, placing them into bags without speaking. Around 10, the doorbell rang. I already knew who it was. Her parents stood in the hallway, faces hard, arms crossed. Her mother entered first. How could you do this to her? She asked. After all she has given you. You should be asking her what she gave to Andrew, I replied. That's a lie, Olivia said quietly. I looked at her parents. She has been going to his place for months. Last night, I sent a meal to his address, in my name, because that was where she chose to be. Silence followed. Not anger, not noise, just realization. Her father exhaled. Olivia, is that true? She didn't answer. They packed her things without another word. As the last bag was lifted, another knock echoed from the hallway. When I opened it, a woman stood there holding a phone. My name is Katrina, she said. I was Andrew's girlfriend. I think we should talk. Olivia froze. Katrina didn't look surprised to see her. She stepped inside and held her phone out toward me. These are messages between them, she said, voice steady. He thought he deleted them. On the screen, Olivia's name appeared again and again. Lines about patience, about timing, about how she would wait until the right moment to leave with something. She talked about a settlement, Katrina added. She wrote that you were her safety net until her exit plan was ready. Olivia looked like the floor had dropped away. "That's not what it looks like," she whispered. "It's exactly what it looks like," Katrina said. I handed the phone back. "I don't need to scroll any further." Katrina turned toward Olivia. "He knew you were married. He told you to stop. You kept pushing." Olivia said nothing. "I'm not here for revenge," Katrina said to me. "I'm here because you deserve to know the whole picture. If you need me to speak up, I will." I nodded once. "I believe you." She left without another word. When Olivia finally rolled the last suitcase toward the door, she didn't meet my eyes. "You plan to leave me," I said. She stopped for a moment, then kept moving. The door closed behind her. 3 days passed without a word from Olivia. I kept my focus on work, movement steady, routine unchanged. Then the bank called. "Sir, we blocked a suspicious transaction on a department card connected to your name," the agent said. "Attempted purchase of several digital gift codes." "Amount?" I asked. $2,000. That card hadn't crossed my mind in months. We had used it once to buy furniture. I was the primary holder. She had access. "Shut it down," I said. "Flag the account. Mark it as misuse." "It's already frozen, Mr. Carter." "Good." After the call, I opened my laptop and checked every account tied to me. Joint utilities, old subscriptions, any leftover passwords she might remember. Change, remove, lock, cancel. One by one, the links disappeared. That evening, my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "This is Andrew. We need to talk." I didn't reply. He called. I sent it to silence. 5 minutes later, another message. "You didn't have to go that far." He meant the dinner, the exposure, the truth that reached further than he expected. I placed the phone face down and went for a run. When I returned, there were new messages waiting. From old acquaintances. From people I barely spoke to. "Are you okay? What happened with Olivia? Is it true you were tracking her?" The story had twisted. She was turning it, shaping it, painting herself as the victim, saying I had controlled her movements, that I snapped, that the food delivery had been harassment. I didn't react. Instead, I pulled up the tracking history. I organized screenshots of dates and addresses. I exported every saved record showing her car at Andrew's location while her words claimed she was elsewhere. That same night, my lawyer received a folder from me. Subject line, "Preparation only. I'm staying silent for now." Nothing else needed to be said. The louder Olivia became, the more careful I became. And in silence, I built something she couldn't talk her way out of. The letter arrived on a Tuesday morning. Thick paper, formal tone, her new last name still printed at the top. Olivia Carter. She was already preparing to remove it. Inside, her lawyer claimed emotional damage, financial contribution, and loss of future stability. She requested support, partial ownership of my savings, and compensation for stress caused by controlling behavior. Nothing in the wording matched reality. It was a script meant to guilt, intimidate, or confuse. I slid the pages across my desk to my attorney without comment. He read them once, then again, then looked up. "She doesn't have a case," he said, "but I'm going to end this cleanly." I provided everything. Location reports, account activity, the failed gift card purchase, delivery confirmation, Katrina's written statement, every step of honesty, every recorded lie. The response went out 2 days later. No acceptance of claims, no admission of wrongdoing, no emotional language, only facts. It stated Olivia had committed fraud by attempting purchases under my name. It confirmed repeated deception in the marriage. It included proof of long-term involvement with Andrew. It also explained her legal position. No name on the lease, no separate contributions, no shared long-term assets in her favor. It ended with one sentence. Any further claims will be met with a lawsuit for defamation and attempted financial abuse. A week passed. Then another. Her lawyer withdrew. No argument, no negotiation, no hearing beyond the required filing. She signed the final documents without me present. The judge stamped approval. No support for her, no share of my property, no claim to my accounts. Just two signatures ending a story she had already left long ago. When the papers reached me, I sat in the same chair where I had read her first lie months earlier. I didn't feel happiness. I felt completion. The phone buzzed once more that day. It didn't have to end like this. I recognized her words from the way they traced meaning they didn't own. I deleted the message, then the number, then the past. 6 months passed without further contact. No more letters, no more accusations, no unexpected knocks. My place stayed neat, organized, calm. Friends stopped asking questions. Neighbors stopped whispering. The noise that followed her betrayal faded, leaving only space. Olivia's fall was quiet but complete. A former coworker told me she lost her position after rumors spread. Nobody trusted her with accounts anymore. She moved into a small shared unit on the edge of the city. Her parents, once defending her loudly, withdrew support when they learned the full truth. Creditors followed. Bills stacked up. Every choice she had made finally landed back on her shoulders. Andrew didn't escape either. His reputation dissolved in the same circle that once welcomed him. People stopped inviting him anywhere. Work opportunities dried up. The story of what he did, what they did, traveled faster than apologies. Even lies couldn't outrun evidence. Katrina sent one last message. "I'm doing fine," she wrote. "Just wanted you to know the truth will always find light." I never responded. She didn't expect one. One evening I walked past the quiet dining table, the same place where I had first read Olivia's message, the one that started it all. The words returned clearly in my mind. "Can't make it tonight." Back then, I had simply answered, "Sure." At the time, that reply had sounded small, simple, almost empty. But now I understood the weight behind it. That one word had become the moment I chose myself. It was the line where confusion ended and control began. People still spoke about our marriage as if it had been perfect. From the outside, maybe it had. From inside, it was a slow erosion hidden by smiles. I didn't miss her. I didn't hate her. I didn't wonder where she was or who she was with. That chapter had already closed before she walked out the door. The silence in my home was no longer lonely. It was freedom. And this time, when I looked at my phone, it no longer held her name. Just quiet. Just truth. Thank you for watching.